Hi there friend, I hope this video finds you well. Welcome to my channel. My name is Tendie, also known as Blessed Hands, Tendie with the Blessed Hands. So today I want to continue the UNIDEB series and share with you guys the second year general medicine journey here at the University of Debrecen in Hungary. So yeah, make sure to stay on the lookout for this content. Subscribe. I'm so glad to see like the family growing, even though I've been MIA for a while. But thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate the love, and I love bumping into you guys and knowing that you find this information very helpful. So to all the newbies, welcome to Debrecen. I hope you're gonna have a good journey. Yeah, so without further ado, we're gonna get right into it. I have the first years who are looking forward to becoming second year, next year, and I can also imagine that if you had a successful first year last semester, you're in your second year and you're the first semester. So as I remember, and I still have my prospectus with me, this is your Bible. Please don't forget that. All the information that you need is there. So as I remember, second year first semester, I think second year, in my opinion, and I feel like this is a sentiment that a lot of us share, I think it's the toughest year. And I feel like once you cross that bridge, like you get into the Canaan, you get into the land of the milk and honey, I think the school schedule is very tight. You have longer classes and you just have them back to back. So it's been tough for those who've been going through it. I see the people running, to the anatomy department so that they don't, close the door behind you and all these things. Yeah, it's tough, but you'll get through it. Yeah, so of course you've already started with the Department of Anatomy, Histology, and Embryology last semester when you're in your first year, second semester. So you're going to continue with that department, and you're going to continue with the rest of the, head and neck, thorax, and all the nitty-gritty, all the good stuff, and the visceral organs and whatnot. So you have the anatomy, you have the histology and the embryology, and you have the relevant like SCTs for it. So I heard that things have changed significantly throughout the years now. For us, we used to have these SCTs where you could exempt certain parts of the anatomy final exam, So for example, for anatomy, I think there were like 3 SCTs or something like that, a head and neck, thorax, and I think abdomen and pelvis SCT. So if you exempted those, then you wouldn't have to do it during the final exam, the practical part of the final exam. But I heard that things are different now, and you guys have a list of structures that you're supposed to know, and there's like some kind of test. I don't understand it, but yeah, make sure that you understand exactly what is required of you, by the end of the semester. With anatomy, you have the labs that you have to attend, you have the classes, the seminars that you have to attend. So make sure that you don't miss more than what you're allowed to miss. So these topics are a lot. I think it's like 120 topics in total, because you have to study the embryology of that organ, the anatomy of that organ, and the histology of that organ. So it's a lot. So I think the sooner you start preparing yourself, the better. I think the anatomy final is the toughest one, I think, this semester. And yeah, brace yourself up for that one. And then physiology is also another course that I think is very interesting, but I feel like it's one of those courses that you can easily get lost in the sauce. You might feel that you're understanding something, but you're not. So I feel like with physiology, make sure you're understanding, and once that SCT comes, that's when you'll be like, I thought I was getting everything, I thought I was understanding everything. So ask your seniors, people in like third year, let them teach you the physiology of different organs, how the neurotransmitters work, how the hormones work, everything, so that you understand it as best as you can. Because I believe like the physiology is the foundation of medicine, like it's the foundation from which we build everything else that comes after. So if your physiology foundation is really strong, I think understanding things in the future, even how drugs work and etc., will be much easier for you. So yeah, make sure you stay on top of that. I believe that for physiology there's also like some SCTs And if you score a certain grade that they have, I think for us it was like 70 or something, 80 or something, in the 80th percentile or something like that, then you could exempt I think for first semester it was, then you could just exempt completely. But if you didn't exempt your physiology, then you would have to take the exam in the exam period, but it would be an oral exam and not a written exam. So I think this was the difference between the first and second semester with physiology, if I remember correctly. And then I think you also have the physio labs and the SCTs, and then at the end of the semester you have like the lab exam or closing lab exam thingy, and then you're supposed to take that. I think it's just like a pass or fail type of thing, so you don't really get a grade, but you have to be successful in it for you to be eligible to take your exam in the exam period, or to get your final grade if you, let's say you've exempted altogether. So make sure you're on top of that. Then we move on to biochemistry. Biochemistry also has labs and it also has SCTs. So when you started with this department, because it's the Department of Molecular Biology and Biochemistry, so the previous semester you started with molecular biology, and then second year, first semester, then that's when you start biochemistry. So try to stay on top of the situation, because as I remember correctly, you could collect points along, you know, the journey. So from molecular biology, and for us, if you acquire 220 points by the time you get to the second semester of second year, which is like the final part of this course, then you would exempt the written part of the final exam. So try to get good grades as you're taking your SCTs. Don't always bank on taking the final exam in the end, because I promise you, by the time you get to second year, second semester, it will be a lot. It will be overwhelming amount of studying and information. So if you can get some parts of the exam out of the way, then that's good for you in the end. But at the end of the day, you have to know everything. So, you know, so yeah, there's that with biochem. If you don't exempt it, then you would have to take some written tests at the end of the semester as well. So that's second year, first semester. So I'm not sure about the prerequisites, you know, for neuroanatomy in the second semester, physio 2 and biochem 2 in the second semester, but I think make sure you know exactly what those prerequisites are, because now here's what happens. Sometimes you are not able to have, let's say, the most successful exam period. Exams are not, you know, going the way you wanted them to go. Maybe during the semester you weren't able to exempt as much as you wanted to, and then now you're in a pickle. So this is why it's so important for you to know the prerequisites for the course in the following semester, or whatever courses are in the following year, because then you can prioritize which courses deserve all your attention and your focus. So for example, right, I think anatomy is a prerequisite for neuroanatomy for pretty much most courses in the second year, second semester. So it means that that will be your priority. You have to pass that anatomy, right? And then comes physiology or biochem. Check the prerequisites in the next semester. How many courses does it block in the next semester? Then you prioritize which course goes first, you know, during your exam period. Like that. I think that's very important. It can help you to, at least even if you have to repeat a year, you don't have as many courses. So let's say if you've managed to get through a semester with at least courses that open up more courses for you in the following semester, it means that when you come back, you're just clearing another course, or you might even be able to catch up in the end. So stay on that. For example, I remember first year, second semester, you know, you start doing the cell biology, right? And cell biology is not a prerequisite for your second year, first semester courses. Well, at our time, that's how it was. So you could take cell biology as an exam course during your second year, first semester, but you'd have to pass that cell biology before you could take the exams for the actual first semester. So that meant that if you're first year, second semester, and you were struggling with your exam period, struggling with your courses, then you'd know that, okay, now I need to make sure that I pass my anatomy completely. I need to make sure that I pass my mole bio. And if I'm left with anything, I'm left with cell bio, and then I get it in the next semester, and you don't waste time. So that's very important, guys. So always know your prerequisites so that you know which courses to prioritize when it comes to that. Okay, and of course second semester is coming, and I believe for me that was the toughest semester. Like, I think I was broken, I was dismantled, I was, oh my gosh, like second year, second semester. I know people are always so hyped about anatomy final in this semester, but second year oh child, it was a lot. It was a lot, because you know, you have the biochem final. It's literally molecular biology from first year, second semester, biochem 1 from second year, first semester, and biochem 2 from second year, second semester. So 3 semesters of studying and information and knowledge and everything. It's the same thing with physiology, a physiology 1 and physiology 2. You know, so I think it's a very tough semester, very demanding, because of the amount of information that you have to have in your head. Like, is a lot, and you have to study a lot, and those exams are rough, you know, especially if things maybe don't go according to plan. Maybe you have to retake an exam and all that. It was guys, when I think about it, listen, we cried like tears. You would be studying, and then you're just so frustrated. I remember I was just crying like this, tears. I was crying, and then I was like, yeah, we have to go. We go again the next day. It was so rough. You know, I remember, like, you know, A chance, B chance. I was like, come on, like, I'm tired, you know. And sometimes the examiners are just tough. You just get super unlucky. Sometimes it's an unfair exam. Sometimes, yeah, you black out, or you don't know, or whatever. And it's just like, what do I do? So yeah, just prepare yourself. And I think most importantly, keep pushing forward. I think, yeah, these exams, I feel like they could be better in how our knowledge gets evaluated, but this is the system, and you have to find a way to beat it and, you know, play to the tune. So I think that's the tough part, but you know, many people get through it, and you probably get through it, but know that you're fighting against a system that is already rigged against you. So make sure that you're on top of the situation all the time. Like, you know what your prerequisites are, you know what SATs are coming, what questions come, past papers, you know, all these things. Try to stay on top of it. I'm not saying it's going to make everything smooth, it's just going to make everything that much smoother because it will still be hard. It will still be lots and lots of hours of studying, and you know, sometimes not getting the score that you want or the grade that you want, or sometimes even failing completely and then having to pick yourself up again. So yeah, second year is the ghetto, and maybe sometime I will tell you guys about like my experience and how God literally saw me through, you know, that part of med school. In fact, throughout the whole of med school, but second year, like, I feel like that's the part that, if any, I was supposed to repeat, it was supposed to be second year. You know, God just, you know, he was like, my daughter, I'm letting you through, you know, go pick yourself up, you know. So yeah, guys, I hope that you enjoy this video. I hope that it is really helpful, and stay encouraged. I hope you'll be able to salvage your semester, you know. And yeah, feel free to comment below your questions and things like that. I'm really sorry that I don't know a lot of like the latest information, because a lot has changed right now, but I hope that this information will help you to focus your energies on finding what you need, and you know, you can use it as a roadmap to navigate your way. So take care of yourselves, guys. Stay positive, make the right decisions, and all the best. Bye.